I met Corey Michelle back in the first part of March at a class that she brought here to Denver, Colorado called Receiving Millions Being You. And I was invited by a girlfriend, and I had used the energy and focus boost so that I could really track with her all weekend, and it worked like a charm. I was super, super impressed, and that's when I was on my trial offer. So I knew enough about the technology, number one, but the results that I was getting spoke volumes to me. And so here we are, and was able to share it with other people, and including Corey, and she just fell in love with it. So I would love to introduce Corey Michelle. Corey is the founder of Unicorn CEO Method, which assists entrepreneurs in gaining access to their natural intuitive capacities in creating their dream life and business. Her work with the quantum field empowers people from all over the world to access their energetic superpowers. And I have to say, mine are growing. So we're thrilled to have her with us tonight. She is originally from Denver, Colorado. However, she now lives in her dream home with her partner, Ben Kusel, and of course, Mojo, their dog, in Noosa, Queensland, Australia. So please help me welcome tonight, Corey Michelle.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that that is what happened for you, Wendy, at that event, because when you're at an event in a room full of people, if you're energetically sensitive, you'll pick up on the frenetic energy of the room, and sometimes it can really take you out or make you tired or distracted and stuff like that. So when Wendy was sharing with me about that, I was like, oh, that's so cool that the app had that effect. But anyway, so as I don't know if the video is on me or if it's still on Wendy. It is? Okay, cool. So I obviously work with people in the quantum field, and I work with people's energy, and I work with people more from a mindset and being sort of space. And so years ago, I think it was about 15 years ago, I was working in the chiropractic field, and I learned about the SCIO machine, the SCIO machine, that it takes like 2 hours to scan your body, and then it can work remotely, pretty much either the same or very similar technology to the limbic arc. And I remember back then going, this would be so cool if I could get access to it, not for like $20,000. Because the machines were like $20,000. And I knew I didn't want to be like a health practitioner, but I knew intuitively that this was really, really cool, because they were working on me from across the room, and it was just amazing. And I sort of had sessions with people over the years as I found people, and but never really thought too much about it. And what's so amazing to me is that I was in my business, I do a lot of coaching, and I create programs and things like that for people to alleviate energies in their body so they become more harmonious and more congruent in their life and their actions. But I was like, the week before I found out about limbic arc, I was literally going, it'd be really great if there was a technology that could assist with the things that in our bodies that are incongruent, that are non-harmonious, non-well, so to speak. And it'd be really great to add that to my business. Well, lo and behold, Wendy introduces me to limbic arc, and I said, wow, that's exactly what I was asking for. It's exactly what I was tuning into. Because what I know, I say that in the quantum space, the little that I know that we work with is when you can alleviate those things that are bugging you in life, right? So whether it's a health issue or not sleeping or energy or things like that, then your creation abilities and what shows up in your life just starts to exponentialize. So if I can add something to my client's world, it wasn't even about me, it was about my clients, that will ease their little nagging things in their world so that they can create more joy and more happiness and manifest more in their life. That's what I wanted to do. So I turned the app on, and within, you know what I did though? I turned too many on, which I would not recommend. But one of the ones I turned on was hers, and I felt it within 15 minutes. I was like, oh, that's nice. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience, but I definitely felt it, and I was like, wow, that was very powerful. So I played around with a number of them, and there were some I could definitely feel the difference right away. And then there was others that couldn't, that I wanted to. Like I really wanted weight to have me drop like 30 pounds overnight, but that didn't happen. Darn it. So I'm still waiting for that miracle. But I did turn weight off for a little while, and I just wrote these down. I did anti-aging, resolve, and inflammation all at the same time. That one, I wasn't expecting this, but all of a sudden my whole day was like, la, la, la. I was procrastinating on a few things, work items, and all of a sudden they were done in like minutes, and I thought they were going to take all day. And I was just like floating around like with butterflies and rainbows. And I was like, wow, that's really amazing. And I'll admit, like, my life is really good. Like, I've created a really great life for myself. So I don't have a lot of physical ailments or issues in my world. It's pretty good. So to take me from where I am, which is pretty good, to even better was awesome. Like, it was a really, really awesome result for me. And being able to see what it's been creating for you guys and everybody the calls that I've been on and the testimonials I've been on has been like, holy cow, like this is revolutionary. So in my world, I was like, this is the future of wellness. Like this is it right here. So with the weight one, so I turned that one on for a few days. I'm on like day 4 or 5 right now. My hunger's gone down. My little snacky eating has gone down. And also my, where I sort of, when you get distracted by food, right? That's the women I see, you guys are like, yep, we know what that one is. That started to subside, but that one took days. Like, so it wasn't the immediate result that I always am hoping for will magically happen. That one, I think and I would just suspect that my body was just getting acclimated to a new sort of way of being or something like that. I'd be curious to see what Dr. Cook or Ron would have to say about that. But that's been my experience so far, and I've just really enjoyed sharing it with people. And it's been so fun to hear the clients that I've put on it and the friends that I've put on the app, their experiences and their results really quickly. We had somebody whose inflammation in their stomach went away in seconds. I had somebody else within 24 hours had aches and pains in her body go away, just like the gentleman had said before. Ben put the sleep on right before he went to bed and went to sleep in 10 minutes, which sometimes really takes a long time because he's got thoughts and stuff in his head. So it's been really amazing. And I'm so grateful that Dr. Cook and and Ron and all of you guys put this all together in a way where it's so easily accessible. It's like on your phone, you can do this. It's exciting. It's very, very exciting to me. Anyway, I could probably talk about it for a long time, but I really want to hear what Ron has to say.
Hey, Corey, Ron's going to talk in a minute, and we can't wait for that. But if you would, just give us a little bit of your background. I know Wendy went into it a little bit, but, what makes you tick? What is your why? Let's go into that a little bit, because I want our listeners, this is your first time on here and you're sharing the app, and that's really cool. But you're really interesting. We've been on calls before, so tell us a little about yourself.
All right. It's so funny always talking about yourself, right? Get a little nervous. So I've been in the consciousness industry world for about 22 years or so in personal growth and development. And I've been a facilitator of, like a coach or facilitator of people in their consciousness for about 10 years. And I started working with energy about 10 years ago. I started working with Ask and You Shall Receive. I started working with the energetics of creation. I started working with quantum mechanics. And what I've been able to really dive into, because it's truly the most interesting thing in the world to me, is how this universe is put together. And it's definitely not what we see. It's definitely not what we think it is. And I've had way too much magic happen in my world, which you might call nonlinear creation, where you can't quantify things. So you can't say, well, I did this and that equaled this, where we start bringing in different perspectives, and then all of a sudden what's in your life starts to change, right? So if for example, just taking this app for an example, resolving some, because I was using Resolve, right? Resolving some hidden inner conflict in myself allowed a greater space of ease and happiness. And when you're being happy and being more relaxed, which is like ease, energy of ease, then everything in your life shows up differently, right? You have a different experience with road rage. You might not have road rage. You might have, an enjoyable time in traffic, if there's traffic. Right now, there might not be very much traffic on the roads, but your experience in life just starts to change. And so that's what all of my programs focus on, is having this level of energetic mastery where you're actually in the driver's seat, and we're no longer victims to the things that are happening in our world. So that puts us in the space of going, hey, what kind of life would I like to have and experience? What's my priority? And being able to consciously create that and allow everything that's not that to just fall away, so that it's like your reticular activating system, right? When you it's your system in your brain, right, that starts going, hey, what are you focusing on? And you say, I want a red Corvette, and then all of a sudden you see like 17 red Corvettes in an hour, right? Your reticular activating system is taking all the information that you're processing and focusing in on what's important to you. So when you start speaking what's important to you, you'll start seeing that in your field. So what I love about that is I say, oh, I think I'd like to add in another technology to my business, and then boom, it shows up like this with you guys, that you guys have such a congruent value system as me. It was just like, yes. All of these yeses start showing up in your world that just make your life even better, filling it with awesome people and awesome opportunities and the resources that you require and the health and the happiness that we all want. There's nobody on the planet that doesn't want to be happy. There's nobody on the planet that doesn't want to have a life that they truly love, right? They may not think they can have it, but I think that this app can actually help with, and it seems like it's actually already been helping a lot of people in that way. Yes, we got a big yes over here. That's awesome. So in my business, I've been doing this in retreats and online coaching and stuff like that for about 10 years around the world. And so we have a global clientele that we contribute to with this sort of mindset and energy work. So
awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I just wanted to go a little deeper, because there was more to it than just, hey, this app's cool and it's working for me. And thank you for sharing. I appreciate you being our featured guest on tonight on our Therapeutic Thursday. Well, morning for you, right? But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to have you on our program. Thanks.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And I just have to say, like, I was looking at a couple of different apps to be a part of, because I knew I needed to add something. And when I sort of was tuning in and interviewing your community, and I was like, this is the kind of community is already what I'm creating, and this is the one I want to be a part of. There's other ones that aren't congruent, and we all know what that's like in our worlds. But I'm so grateful that you guys have set this all up in the way that you have. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So thank you.